Okay, well, thank you everybody for being here today. Bit of a different type of session today, a thing around what's coming up. So my name's Jeremy Ems. I'm a Sales Director at Property Inspection Manager. A couple of things I'm going to cover off today. The first thing is this little thing, the Apple Pencil. I have an iPad Pro, which I've had for about 18 months now, and bought this quite early on. And to be honest, I was absolutely underwhelmed with this device. However, there's been some changes to the software, the iOS in the iPads, and all the iPad minis and new iPads are now compatible with the Apple Pencil. So I just want to show you a few things of how this works with PIM, and I'm actually finding it really, really good. The other thing I'm going to go on to later on after this bit is our integration with Property Tree, how that works, what the workflow is like, and also a bit of a heads up on some developments to the API, which is going to make the relationship between Property Inspection Manager and Property Tree even better. So first things first, I'm just going to share my screen and I will show you what we can do with this Apple Pencil. So sharing my screen now, just bear with me as it comes up. Okay, let's enlarge that. And let's go into PIM. So with the Apple Pencil, I'm just going to come out of PIM for 1 second and go into my settings. In settings, there is an Apple Pencil setting in there. I've got mine set up to allow me to draw with my Apple Pencil and also scribble with my Apple Pencil. The only draw with the Apple Pencil means I can use my fingers for scrolling up and down. They won't be used for drawing or anything else. So once I've got that set up, I come out of here. I've paired up my device and my Apple Pencil. I go into PIM. I'm going to go into an inspection. So I'm just going to bring across an inspection. Import selected, continue, bring it into PIM. And straight away, I can start using this. So if I look at my first page of my inspection that's coming up, I can write some notes. Dog in back garden. And it converts my keystrokes into, my writing into keystrokes. And my writing's pretty bad. I should have been a doctor, I'm sure. Not quite though. So that's one thing that I can do. But the other thing is, if I want to delete something, I literally just scribble it and it disappears. So for those instances where you're out and you're doing an inspection and you've got a tenant in the property, this is actually quite a good way of capturing your notes quickly. So usually when we say you can use Siri to capture voice to text, if you've got somebody else in the room, or if you've got somebody, or if it's a noisy environment, it's not ideal. So this is a good thing to use. The other thing that I like about this is because it's got a narrow point to it, using it to move things around, to touch and tap, just makes sense. And it feels quite professional as well. So I'm going to go into my next area, or the next stage of my inspection, which is the first time I'm setting up this inspection and I want to move stuff around. So I press edit in the top corner. I want to delete one of these rooms. So I scroll down. I'm going to get rid of that second balcony. Delete. It's just simple. It just works. If I press edit, you'll see on the right-hand side of my screen, I've got my little grey bars. I just touch those and I can move my rooms up and down to get the flow of my rooms. Just works. It's really nice. I like it for that alone. Press done. I'm going to go into an area now. So let me go into, for example, I'll just go into our summary. All right. So I'm going into our summary. I can obviously, I can use this to write my notes, as I've said before. But the other thing that I can do is if I want to, I'm just going to show you a quick thing here. I'm going to create a shorthand word and phrase. So if I put something in for the first time, I'm just going to put in something a little bit silly. This property is in such bad condition that the only thing that I would advise is to put a bomb under the floorboards and set it off. Now, if I'm going to use that again, I can actually save it straight away to my shorthand words and phrases. So if you look at your screen here, above the keyboard, there's a clipboard with a plus sign on it. If I press the plus sign, it says, do you want to save this to your shorthand words and phrases? So I can actually write in here. So I'm going to write bomb, converts it to that, and I'm going to add it to this area only. So what that means now is if I want to use that phrase again, I can write the word bomb and then space. That hasn't quite worked in the way I intended it to. I'm going to do it again. Just bear me 1 second. Bomb and then space. It hasn't done what I expected it to do. Hang on a sec. I'm going to try something else. Fence, space. Well, that worked perfectly last week, and it isn't at the moment, so I'm going to come back onto it in a second. But what this will allow you to do is write in your shorthand words and phrases and be able to bring them up above you. So I'm just going to try another area. I'm going to go to my entry, write in fence, change space. There you go. That's how it works. You've got your space, so the line across dictates it's a space. Put the space next to the word, it appears above, touch it and drop it in. In fact, I would hope now, if I go into here, I can press on my keyboard as well. So a combination of my pencil and my keyboard, I can press return. I'm going to write in here that bomb one. No, I'm not. Because it won't go. Back to the other one. Now the summary. Okay. Okay, so it's not working perfectly in any way, shape or form. However, it does do the job. So I can use it for my shorthand words and phrases. I can use it for writing in notes in here, in my additional notes. The other thing that I can do is when I've completed an inspection, so I'm going to go back to the home page, I'm going to preview my inspection. So there won't be a lot in this one here. I'm going to view it now. One of the things that I may occasionally want to do is put in a signature. So using the pencil for an agent's signature, I can tap on there. It just gives a much nicer defined signature, which is great. The other thing that I've been advised of is that if you get the clear sheet, cellophane sheet that goes on front of your iPad, the one that's got like a paper feel to it, it actually makes it feel like there's a little bit of resistance as you're writing across the screen. It's not slipping across the screen, which makes it even better. So I've put in the signature in there now. I'm just going to preview it again. View it now. Go on to the second page. There you go. There's my signature. And I have to say, it looks an awful lot better than when I try writing a signature with my finger on my iPad. Now, never to be deterred, I want to go back into this inspection now and just try something else, because I don't like it when it doesn't work in the way it's supposed to do. So I'm going to go into Garage. I'm just going to look at the shorthand words and phrases that I've got in here, the options that I've got. Pets, right. So let me just try this again. I'm going to write in here, pets, press line. Yeah, there you go. It's actually brought up the above there, evidence of pets inside. I can drop it in from touching the black bar above. So I suppose the good thing from this is if you want to use your shorthand words and phrases, particularly say if you go into a property and you're doing a property condition report and all the walls are freshly painted magnolia, no marks, etc., you can quickly create an abbreviation, and then you can write it on with your pencil, put a space in terms of the line across, touch it, drop it in. So a quick way of completing your inspections. I like it for the way I can move things up and down. I like the neatness, and that's a good thing. And the other thing is you can use this to mark up photos. So with PIM, we've been asked quite a lot over the past couple of years about will you be able to annotate photos? And a couple of things here. One is I'll show you the existing workflow. Second thing is we are working on a newer camera that will allow you to mark up straight away your photos taken in PIM. So in the short term, if you've got something that's quite an obvious problem and you want to mark up that photo, maybe there's a mark, maybe there's a hole in the wall or something, what you can do is come out of PIM, go into your camera. So take the picture with the camera. So I'm just going to focus in on here a second. Tap. Click. All right, so I've taken that picture on my camera roll. I'm going to go back into PIM now. And I'm going to go into my living room. Now I'm going to my kitchen meals area. Let's go into here. And I'm going to go into my camera. I'm going to choose my picture from the photo library. So, photos. There's the picture I've just taken. So I'm just tapping that. Done. So let me just go into that picture in my camera roll. There's the photo. I'm going to go into edit. If I go into edit, I've got my markup capability in here. So I go into here, go markup. Thank you very much. So I'm going to choose this marker, yellow, and I can put a marker around the photo. And I can even write in there something like deep hole. Done. So that's saved in my camera roll now. I come out of here, go back into PIM, go to my photo library, into here, bring that picture into my inspection. Done. So in this area now, I've got one photo. So I've brought that picture into my inspection. I've marked it up, I've got some notes on it. And what I can also do is add some more notes. Looks like a nail. Hole needs fixing. Done. So if I go back to my inspection and preview that inspection again, view it now, where the picture's appearing in the report, the notes that you add to the photo go above, and then you can actually mark up your picture as well, put some notes in there too. So between the two things, you can actually capture more information, make these reports clearer, easier to communicate using this little device. If you've got any questions about this or want to get in touch with us, best way to do it either through the chat function, or if you look down here into the PIM help desk, you'll see in the PIM help desk, there's contact us. Just send us a message through here and anybody in the team can get back to you. Or just send us an email to support@propertyinspectionmanager.com. Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to show you today was what our workflow is currently like with Property Tree, and then have a look at what the workflow is going to be like later on this year. So just bear me 1 second while I come out of this screen. I'm going to go into my Property Tree screen here. And there we go. I'm just going to come back out of this page. So with PIM and Property Tree, there is a very simple but useful workflow that allows your inspections to be scheduled within Property Tree. Once they are confirmed, they become available within PIM. You can complete your inspection, and then your inspection, once it's submitted, gets pushed back up into Property Tree. Now, I'm just going to go into one of the properties. Sorry. Just bear me 1 second. So I'm going to show you one of the properties that we've set up for an inspection today. So that's 1011 Hay Street. So when you first set up a property within Property Tree, you can go into details and you can assign that property to a different type, property type. You'll see in here that property details, I can edit, I can come into here, and there are a number of different property profiles that are available for you to assign to that property. Now, these different property profiles can be mapped to PIM. Now, you'll see within Property Tree that they have a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2 car parking spaces profile assigned to them, but you can override that in PIM to make it whatever suits your type of apartments. But the first time you're setting up a property, a new property in Property Tree, if you select apartment or any of the other different property profiles that are in here, and you've got those different property profiles set up within PIM, it allows you to bring them across with those areas associated with that type of property. It just means that the first time that you're actually setting them up, you've got a closer match to the property type, the rooms within that property. So in here, I've now got my inspections set up, and you'll see I've got an upcoming inspection today, which has been confirmed. So once that is confirmed, it comes into PIM. So I'm going to just drop down this screen now and go to my PIM app again. Just changing the screen. Okay. So I'm just going out to the screen, going into my new import screen. That's going to bring in the properties that are due for inspection. So I've got 1011 Hay Street, and I've got Morley Drive. I select those, and you'll see within the information associated with these properties, these are both new properties being brought into the into PIM to inspect for the first time because they've got a green bar. If they've been previously inspected on your device, you'll get an orange bar to show that it's a repeat inspection. But you'll see along here, you've got a different profile of apartment, and you've got one of semi-detached. If I go into my settings, you'll see in my settings, PIM admin, smart property profiles, I do have an apartment and a semi-detached property profile already set up. So that just means that the property in Property Tree, that's an apartment, matches up with the profile within here. And that profile is for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom with an ensuite, kitchen, study, etc. And it'll come through with those associated rooms. So once I come into here, I've got my little action button up in the top right-hand corner. Press my action button, import selected, and they should come into my list of inspections, which is on the left-hand side. So I've got an additional one in there, Cambridge Street, but I've also got Hay Street and Morley Drive. So if I go into the Hay Street property, all the information associated with that property that's held in Property Tree comes over. So that includes address details, it includes the owner name, their phone number, their email address. You'll see I've got 2 bedrooms, I've got 2 bathrooms, 1 car parking space in here. That's the profile that's been set up within PIM. I've got in here as well my rental amounts, my contact names, etc. So the reason that we've got these phone numbers and email addresses on the first page of the inspection is from PIM, you can communicate and call directly from your phone, and you can send emails directly as well from your iPad too. So it just links in being able to have the information to hand that you need if you're in a property. If the key number is also in the in property tree, that'll be brought over, and so will any other property information such as keypad numbers, ways to get into the property, anything to be aware of, that sort of stuff. So when I tap to start my inspection, I'm just going to go through into here for a second. The usual thing, I can change areas if I don't need them. I can add areas, I can move things up and down. So just go into the passageway, move that up and down. I've got my areas for maintenance required, etc. And I've also got tenant summary down here. So I just want to reiterate, with PIM, you have, through one inspection, the ability to create multiple reports. So if I go into tenant summary, I'm going to go into my shorthand words and phrases in my tenant summary. I'm going to filter on this area only, filter by relevance. Thank you for showing me through the property. There are a number of items noted that require attention. I'm using my pencil here as well, so I'm just bringing up the small screen so I can do a return. And I'm going to add a comment in here. I'm going to use Siri in this instance. Please, would you clean the shower in the ensuite bathroom, because it is very tarnished by calcium buildup on the glass. And I can get rid of that. Down here, return. Away. Take a photo. There we go. Click. Add some notes to that photo. Please clean the shower screen. It's very, very dirty. Okay, use photo. So I've got a report that's going to go to the tenant. I've got the report that's going to go to our landlord. So I'm just going to put something in here. I know if I press OK, press the space bar, it appears above, drop it in. I'm going to take a photo of the outside of the property. I'm just going to go to the photo library on this one. Select more photos, there we go. Just going to choose a picture of my lovely new cat. So there he goes, he can come in, add that photo, and done. So I'm just going to make sure that that photo is selected as a cover photo, so it'll go on the front page. Back. Okay, I'm going to go into one more room, so at least we've got some additional information to go in there. So I'm going to go into the exterior of the property. My fence needs replacing, so I'm just going to put in the word fence. Here's above, drop it in, take another couple of photos, click, use, done. Okay, now the other thing is, if you go into additional notes, you can create a list of things for you to follow up back in the office. So I'm just going to put something in here. Must talk to the gardener about the trees to the northern boundary of the property, which are becoming overgrown and will need trimming in the next 2 weeks. So I come back to my home page. I go to my action button in the top right-hand corner, and I'm going to submit my inspection. So that's merging my comments and photos into the template associated with your account. And then that should push the report back up into Property Tree. Now, successfully uploaded into Property Tree. I'll view it later. I've also got in here my submit cleaning and maintenance report. That cleaning and maintenance report is just your additional notes. So pressing that one in here, a consolidated list of your additional notes for your eyes only back in the office, and that's been uploaded as well. I'll view that in a second. And then finally, I can send through my tenant inspection report that is just for the tenant. So that's going through as well. I'll view it later. Now, each of those 3 reports have gone back up into Property Tree, fingers crossed. So now I'm just going to change my screen. I'm going to go back into Property Tree down here. So I'm going to refresh this screen. And I'm going to look into the inspections associated with this property. Refresh. Okay. Just going to go into inspections. Now you'll see in here that this inspection has changed from a confirmed inspection to a conducted inspection. And you'll see the little eye there. If I open the eye, it will show me that I've got 3 reports that have been sent through to this property. And then I've got the option to send reports to owner, etc. So that's your workflow. Up to you what you do with those. I'm going to just open one of these up so you'll be able to see that that's my routine inspection report that's been created on PIM, pushed back straight away into Property Tree. Not a lot of detail in there. Nice looking outside of the property. There's your photos. Okay, just going to go back into here as well. I've got my cleaning maintenance report, talking to the gardener to remind me to do some stuff later on. And then the third one that I've got is my tenant inspection report, which has done a mail merge of sorts to Mr. David Jones. Thanks very much for letting me through the property. Please clean the shower. And there's the picture of the dirty shower down there. So it's very sweet. It's very straightforward. You'll see above the PDFs here that you've got tenant notes, actions, owner notes, and follow-up items. In the next release of Property Tree that's coming out before the end of the year, there will be changes to the API, which allows us to talk in more depth to Property Tree. So we're just working out the best way to do it, but you'll be able to push notes from an inspection done in PIM back into those areas as well. So that's another a good step forward. Now, the other thing that's coming through is, it's been discussed for a time. At the moment, all inspections come through to PIM as routine inspections because there isn't a workflow for entry and exit, but that's also going to be addressed too. So when inspections are brought through into Property Inspection Manager from Property Tree, after this new development, they'll be able to be assigned to, it's either a routine inspection, or it's an entry inspection, or it's an exit inspection. And it will also bring through the type of property profile that's associated with that property, as long as it's set up in Property Inspection Manager as well. So there's a few things in there that are really good, but we do not have an intermediary step between completing your inspection on your device and pushing it back into Property Tree. So it's a very sweet and straightforward workflow. And yeah, you can see there it's changed to conducted. Then you can continue to send the reports where you want to send them to, make them accessible through the portal, etc. And hopefully that helps you understand a little bit more about how we work with Property Tree. It wasn't going to be a big session today, so it's nearly half an hour. If you do have any questions, please either use the chat function and Nikki will respond to you, or email us, or use the contact us within the app. And thank you very much for your time. Sorry that the shorthand words and phrases using handwritten type didn't work straight away, but we did get there. And I think with all of these things, just playing around with it, working with it, working out how it actually works rather than trying to rush it is a good thing. Thanks very much. Have a fantastic week, and wherever you are, stay safe and have fun.